السلام عليكم. معكم المعلمة الأحمد، معلمة اللغة الإنجليزية من مدرسة بنات الخنسا الثانوية في مديرية جنين. درسنا اليوم درس قواعد لطلاب الصف الأول ثانوي من الوحدة الثامنة. ing phrases, prepositions plus gerunds. So our learning objectives for today are: number 1, to identify the 3 different types of the ing phrases. Number 2, to use the ing phrases correctly. And number 3, to use some prepositions that are followed by gerunds. In this unit, we divide the ing phrases into 3 types, and here is the first one: time ing clauses or phrases. In this type, we use time connectors like while, when, after, before, etc. Let's start with the first example. Number 1, while Tom was walking, he lost his keys. This sentence consists of 2 clauses. The first one is the subordinate clause, Tom, while Tom was walking, and the main clause, he lost his keys. In English, you have the choice to shorten this sentence and rewrite it using the ing phrase. So start with while, the connector, and then get rid of the subject. You can do this, and just add the ing form of the main verb. So it becomes while walking. While walking, Tom lost his keys. Example number 2. After I had finished my work, I had my dinner. Again, the same steps. Start with after, get rid of the subject I, put the main verb in the ing form. So it becomes after finishing my work, I had my dinner. One more example. Many animals are threatened with extinction after they have lost their natural habitat. You put the main clause in its place. Many animals are threatened with extinction. Then you put after and get rid of the subject they. Put the verb in the ing form, losing. So it becomes many animals are threatened with extinction after losing their natural habitat. Pay attention to the punctuation, please. Start with a capital letter and end your sentence with the full stop. The second type is reason ing phrase. In this type, we use it to express a reason-result relationship. So we have a reason and we have a result, and you have to work with the reason clause. Let's start with the example. Because I felt hungry, I made a sandwich. This is the reason, and here is how you use the ing phrase. First, get rid of the connector because. Get rid of the subject, put felt in the ing form, so it becomes feeling. Feeling hungry, this is a reason, comma, I made a sandwich, full stop. Another example. I didn't know the answer, so I asked my friend's help. Where is the reason? It's I didn't know the answer. Notice that we have a negative form of the verb here. So you should start with not. Not, get rid of the subject I and put no in the ing form. Not knowing. Not knowing the answer, this is the reason, comma, I asked my friend's help. The third example. Mud skippers are fish, so they use gills to breathe. The reason is mud skippers are fish. Where is the main verb? It's are, be verb. So it becomes being. Being fish, comma, mud skippers use gills to breathe. Again, pay attention to the punctuation marks. Use capital letter at the beginning of the sentence. Put a comma between the 2 clauses and end your sentence with the full stop. One more example. Because pandas don't have good food, they find it difficult to produce babies. This is the reason. It's a negative form of the verb, so start with not. The main verb is have here, so it becomes having. Get rid of the connector and get rid of the subject too. not having good food, this is the reason, and the sentence becomes shorter as you notice. The result, comma, the result is pandas find it difficult to produce babies, full stop. The last type of ing clauses or phrases, speaking as someone. This type is used to express your opinion as a result of who you are. Let's see the examples. Example number 1. I am a parent. I think kids shouldn't have exams. We have a speaker here and we have an opinion. So, to rewrite it using ing phrase, you have to start with speaking as. Speaking as a parent, the speaker, then put a comma and mention the opinion. I think kids shouldn't have exams. Another example. I speak as a biologist. I think whales must be saved. Again, start with speaking as. Put the speaker, speaking as a biologist, and mention the opinion. I think whales must be saved. Now let's move to your book and open your book on page 82, activity 2. The question says, rewrite the sentences using ing form of the underlined verb. It's very easy and it's very simple. Let's see number 1. The biologist studied these animals and discovered something amazing. All what you have to do is just to put the verb studied in the ing form of the verb after while. So it becomes like this. The biologist discovered something amazing while studying these animals, full stop. Number 2. If you work with bees, you need to wear special clothes. So there is a connector when, and it must be followed by the ing form of the verb. Work become working. When working with bees, comma, you need to wear special clothes. Number 3. To protect themselves, octopuses change their body shape. Octopuses protect themselves how? By, and by must be followed by the ing form of the verb. Change becomes changing, by changing their body shape. The last one, to help them walk, mudskippers use their fins. Mudskippers use their fins for walking, full stop. And for also must be followed by the ing form of the verb. One more activity on page 84, activity number 2. Join the pairs of sentences. So we have 2 sentences, you have to join them to make one longer sentence using ing phrase. Let's see number 1. I know him well. This is the first sentence. That's why, so we have reason-result relationship. That's why I can tell you what his answer will be. So where's that reason? It is I know him well. As I have just mentioned, get rid of the subject and just put the verb in the ing form, knowing. Get rid of the connector, that's why, don't mention it, just put a comma. So, knowing him well, I can tell you what his answer will be. Number 2, some organizations try to preserve pandas. They spend millions of pounds protecting panda habitats. Again, we have reason-result relationship between the 2 sentences. So this is the reason. The organizations try to preserve pandas. Get rid of the subject, the same steps. Put to try in the ing form of the verb. Trying to preserve pandas. Some organizations spend millions of pounds protecting panda habitats. Don't forget the punctuation, the comma between the 2 clauses. Number 3, I am a student. So here we have an opinion. I think exams cause a lot of stress. We have to start with speaking as. This is the 3rd type. Speaking as a student, the speaker. The opinion, I think exams cause a lot of stress, and put a comma between the 2 clauses. Number 4, I saw that it was going to rain. I put my coat on. We have also here reason, result. I saw that it was going to rain. We get rid of the subject, put so in the ing form of the verb. So becomes seeing. Seeing that it was going to rain, comma, I put my coat on. Number 5. I don't see the problem. That's because, notice because, I am someone who isn't an expert. Where is the reason? It's after because. And the reason here is negative. So we should start with not. The main verb is be verb here, isn't? So it becomes being, not being an expert, comma, and then put the result. I don't see the problem. Full stop. Number 6. We are parents. We think, so this is an opinion, we think we should told about changes to the education system. Start with speaking as, we have a speaker, we have opinion, so speaking as parents, comma, we think we should be told about changes to the education system. Number 7, I felt hungry. I decided to have a sandwich. Again, we have reason, result. Get rid of I, the subject, put felt in the ing form. Feeling. Feeling hungry, comma, I decided to have a sandwich. The last example or the last sentence, the tourists realized they were lost, so they asked someone for directions to the hotel. Start with the reason, put the verb in the ing form, realizing they were lost, comma, tourists asked someone for directions to the hotel. And it's better to put the name instead of the pronoun. So,
and now, my students, let's go through the
Okay, let's continue with the prepositions. Yes, so I finished about the ing phrases, and now we'll move to talk about prepositions. Prepositions in English are words like from, at, for, by, on, with, etc. They connect words together, and they connect word with the elements in the rest of the sentence. It's also good to know that these prepositions in English are followed by nouns, pronouns, or gerunds. And in this unit, we are going to focus on some adjectives and verbs that are followed by specific prepositions, and these prepositions in turn are followed by gerunds. Let's see table number 1. We have a group of adjectives and the prepositions that goes with them. Number 1, famous. It is followed by for, famous for. Sorry, for. And good, at. These prepositions in turn are also followed by gerunds. What is gerund? It's an ing form of the verb. Let's see the example here. Opossums are famous for. So we have famous for, and for must be followed by an ing form of the verb, or we call it gerund. Pretending. So opossums are famous for pretending dead. In the second table, we have some verbs and some prepositions. Dream, of, think of or about, look forward to, succeed in, and decide against. These prepositions are also followed by gerunds. Let's see the example. Many biologists dream of, and we should put the verb in the ing form, the gerund, of finding a completely new species. Move to your book on page 82 and 83 and let's see the activities. Activity number 3. Look at the examples. We've just read them. Of verbs, adjectives plus preposition plus ing. Then match the verbs and adjectives in the table below with the correct prepositions. Let's start. Sorry with for, yes. Think with of. Succeed in. Look forward to. Decide against. and good at. Activity 4. Complete these sentences using prepositions and ing form of the verb in the books. So you have a group of verbs and you have sentences. First, you have to decide on the preposition and just put the verb in the ing form. Let's see number 1 and 2. Number 1. After years of trying, he's finally succeeded in, because succeed is followed by in, and then put the verb in the ing form, in solving the problem. Number 2. They have decided against, and spend becomes spending so much money on saving one animal. Number 3. I am sorry for, and put the verb forget in the ing form of the verb, for forgetting. Notice that we double the T because we have a vowel before the last consonant. Number 4. This is a much better way. Why didn't I think of doing it like this before? Number 5. After such a long time away, they were looking forward to getting home. The last one, at school, he was always good at writing essays. And finally, for the evaluation, I have for you 3 activities. Activity number 1. I want you first to build or to design a mind map of the lesson ing clauses. So start like this. Mention the types that I have talked about in the lesson and put or write your own examples. Activity number 2, rewrite the sentences using ing clauses. Number 1, when you deal with chemicals, you should wear special clothes. So try to rewrite the sentence using the ing phrases we have talked about. Number 2, I am an expert, so I can't help you. Number 3, we are teachers. We think e-learning is essential these days. The last activity for you, complete the sentences with the correct preposition and then put the verb in the correct form. Tina is very good. Put the preposition and put dance in the correct form, and she won many awards. Number 2, I am very sorry. The verb is be, late for the meeting. The last one, this bike is cool, I'm thinking a new one. And thanks for listening.